Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. I have some good Second Amendment news. I know there's a lot of noise out there, pro and con and so forth, especially with the confirmation hearing for Chipman for running the ATF. Those are still going on. But the bottom line of what I'm going to share is that the Second Amendment is winning across the country. Let me give you some data to support that. And this is based on the most current 2020 census and the most current this month, May 2021, legislation for permitless or constitutional carry rights across the country. So let's start with the states that are left that only have May issue. And there are only 6 of those states left. They represent 20% of the American population. So only 20% of the population is not able to exercise their Second Amendment rights out in public. In contrast to 88%. Think about that. Most of the states, there are 44 states that have shall issue, and that's 88% of the states. 88% of the states and 80% of the people in the United States are able to exercise their Second Amendment right out in public. Now, and it's just growing. I mean, it is increasing, not going the other way over time. And this terrifies the anti-gun people and why they're salivating and getting crazy about the kind of things they're putting out there to restrict gun rights. Unfortunately for them, they're losing at the state level, and they're trying to attack the gun itself and the right to carry at the federal level, which isn't going to go anywhere. Now, of the 44 states that have shall issue, the 80% of the people, 22 states as of May 2021, because we've added Texas and Alabama, 87 million people in this country, 87 million are now able to freely roam around the cabin to carry their firearm out in public without a permit. Now, that's 26% of the people. That is more people protected with their Second Amendment right than are denied their Second Amendment right in those 6 states that still have May issue. That's huge. 44% of the states have constitutional carry. We only need a couple more, and you'll have more than half the country permitless carry. Now, think about what that means. Think about what that means. The more available a right, the greater the probability the people will try to exercise that right. The more people try to exercise that right, the more difficult it is to deny that right to them. So while the anti-gun people froth at the mouth and talk about changing the culture of America away from guns, the fact that these numbers indicate more of the people will be able to exercise their rights to do this, which will change the culture back to being favorable to the Second Amendment. So my point is, stay focused at the state level wherever you are. Now remember, there's only 6 states that the Supreme Court is going to have to rule for those 6 states to do anything. But the rest of the country, be thanking your senators and your local and your state representatives for supporting, your governors for signing those legislation, especially in those 22 states. Now, Texas was a big deal. They brought 29 million people to the table to be covered in permitless carry. Next on the docket is going to be Florida. Now, you have Texas and Florida bringing a huge amount of people to the table that will fundamentally change the dynamic and take the wind out of the sails, the rest of the wind out of the sails for the anti-gun people. So the fight is not over, and we still need to be in it. What I want you to understand is that we are in fact winning. Momentum is on our side, but we need to keep the pressure on. We need to keep the pressure on, and hopefully we will have that happen. The final nail in the anti-Second Amendment coffin with some rulings from the Supreme Court coming up later this year, maybe early 2022. So with that, I want to leave you with this good news. Think about it. If you got any questions, comments, thoughts, please put them down below. If you like the content, subscribe. Love to have you as part of the community. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get reminders. With that, as always, thanks for watching, and carry on.